Hello friends, this video on organic chemistry basic part 8 is brought to you by examfever.com. No more fear from exam. Let's understand the alkyl group now before we understand the naming convention of the branch chain. So alkyl group are nothing but small carbon chain of branches. So if you see in the branch chain compounds, we have small chain of carbon attached. For example, in this case, we have this carbon, this attached. So in this, we have this is one chain and this is one attached. So these are my alkyl groups. So you see, this is my branch chain, and here small chains of carbons are attached. This is a small chain of carbon is attached, right? And these are my alkyl groups. To derive alkyl group, you do one thing. Just from a saturated hydrocarbon, for example, methane, I have CH4. Remove one hydrogen, you get CH3. Right? This is my alkyl group. Or you have C2H6. In this, you remove one hydrogen, you get C2H5. Correct? So if you see, this is C2H5, this is a branch, this is alkyl group, this is alkyl group, this is alkyl group. So alkyl group is nothing but in the branch chain you have a small chain of carbon, that is my alkyl group, and to create alkyl group you take a saturated, please note, you take a saturated hydrocarbon and from that you remove hydrogen. Correct? So for example, if you see, from methane you get methyl, from ethane, this is ethane, you get ethyl. This is propane, 3 carbon, all saturated. From propane you get propyl. From butane you get butyl. From this is 10 carbon, 1 plus 8, this is 8, and this is 1 again. 10 decane you get decyl. So to name such compound, the steps are pretty simple. You have to just add I to the parent alkane. So methane becomes methyl, ethane becomes ethyl, propane becomes propyl, butane becomes butyl, pentane becomes pentyl, and the list continues. Correct example, this is isopropyl, this is sec-butyl, this is isobutyl, this is tertiary butyl. See, iso word is given if it has 2 CH3 attached. So if you see this carbon I'm talking about has 2 CH3 attached, so it is iso. If it has 1 CH3 attached, it is called sec. For example, this carbon I'm talking about has 1 CH3 attached, methyl group. Again, if you see this carbon has 2 CH3, right? So it is also iso. If a carbon has 3 CH3, it is called tetrabutyl or new butyl also. That is how the naming convention is given. Right? It is N-butyl if it is a straight chain. For example, CH3, CH2, CH2. This is N-propyl. Correct? If it has branch, it has one CH3, it is sec. It has 2 CH3, it is iso. It has 3 CH3, it is tertiary. Correct? So 0 CH3 attached, it is N. 1 CH3 attached, it is sec. 2 CH3 attached, it is iso, and 3 maximum 3 can be attached, it is, you use the word tert or mu. This is how you name the alkyl group. Correct? So let's start with the nomenclature of aliphatic compounds without functional group, but this time which is a branch chain. So please pay little attention here because this is a little long rule. The first one is you have to find the longest chain. The longest chain has to be defined, and if multiple bond exists, it must be part of the chain. Right? If there is a multiple bond, it has to be part of the chain. The first rule is find the longest chain. The second is the numbering is done for the carbon in such a way that the branched carbon atoms get the lowest possible number. Please note, here the priority is for the branch carbon atom. There is the alkyl groups that is linked to this chain. Since we are talking about the branch, so branch gets the priority. Make sure the branch gets the lowest number, right? And if 2 substituents are found in the equivalent position, the lower number is given to one which is coming in alphabetical listing. For example, methyl, right? Ethyl, propyl. I just wrote in the alphabetical listing E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Yeah. So ethyl will be given more importance than methyl, then propyl. Why? Because we are following the alphabetical order. Right? So ethyl has more importance than methyl than propyl. So it doesn't depend on the number of carbon, it depends only on the alphabetical order. Right? So if it has more than one similar alkyl group, for example, it has 2-methyl group or 3-methyl group, then you will use di, 2-methyl group, tri or 3-methyl group, etc. And also note that this numbering when I talked about alphabetical order, so there we don't consider this di, tri in this. We only consider methyl alcohol, ethyl alcohol, propyl. If it is di, tri, those words are not considered. When you talk about alphabetical listing, we only are considered about the ethyl, propyl and butyl. We'll discuss this one by one. We'll take some examples to understand this. And then if the alkyl group is further branched, then it is again named as substituted alkyl group. We'll take one example to understand this. Let me repeat all the rules once again. The first thing is you find the longest chain with multiple bonds if it exists. Numbering is done to make sure the branch chain gives the lowest number, right? And if there is a conflict, we'll use the alphabetical order for the alkyl group. And please use di and tri, and don't consider this di and tri word in the alphabetical listing. Only ethyl, methyl, propyl, this order will be followed. And the alkyl group itself is a big branch, then you use the name as a substituted alkyl. Thank you. Visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thanks once again.